Frieren Beyond the Journey's End has been out by for what, like now a year, maybe 2 years, and it has been the number one anime of all time, dethroning full mid level Brotherhood. All right, and I'm glad for it because unironically, Frieren is such an amazing piece of media, an amazing piece of anime. It changes people's lives. I'm not gonna drag it that much, but you know, there has to be a couple of cases. There has to be a couple of cases where Frieren has changed someone's life. Not that Full Metal hasn't. You know, Full Metal probably could. I wouldn't know. It didn't change minds. You know, I saw the anime. I said, I saw the anime. I was like, I mean, it's all right. You know, but then I saw Fearing, and I was like, cinema, absolute cinema. I did not know media could be this good. Imagine for a second that for some weird reason you want to, watch brand new anime because your friends are fucking nerds, right? And then you think to yourself, oh, wait, well, not nerds, we're no longer in 2008. We're in 2026, you know what I'm saying? Anime is mainstream now. Anyways, imagine for 15 consecutive years, not 5, not 10, 15 consecutive years. You think to yourself, in any of those 15 years, you think to yourself, you know, instead of reaching out to a reliable friend that watches anime all the time, let me just search up what is the greatest anime of all time. And then you stumble upon a website called MyAnimeList. You enter that website, you go to the top anime, and all you see is full mid-level alchemy. Don't do it to me, please. Anyways, Full Metal Alchemist. And you say, oh, Full Metal Alchemist. Let me press it. Let me check it out. Unironically, maybe in the first 5 years, I would have been like, yeah, Full Metal Alchemy. Great choice. Knock yourself out. But for the last 10 years, for the last 5 years, you're telling me the top rated anime is Full Metal Alchemy? Even though you have heavy hitters, absolute haymakers in the industry, it has never changed. I don't know about that, bro. I really do not know. But thankfully, things have changed. As you know, with that being said, let's get down to it. Everybody says that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, gotta specify it on the Brotherhood, would never be dethroned. I'm telling you right now, it has been carried for 10 years by pure nostalgia. Straight up. It has been solely because of that. If it wasn't because of nostalgia, it probably wouldn't be number one. But that's an argument for another day, all right? It sat at the number one spot in MyAnimeList for a full 15 consecutive years. But finally, after those 15 years, one elf with a staff was able to do the impossible, which is just straight up just beating nostalgia. That's all they had to do. Any anime could have done this, but Frieren was the one. Today we're gonna be breaking down why Frieren Beyond the Journey's End became the true GOAT and why it's going to stay there while all other hyped anime crashes and burns. So you see, Frieren didn't just climb the chart, it redefined it. What makes an anime timeless? It took a slice of life, comfort anime for people to cave, fuse it with real character psychology, and it gave us something that, to be honest, Full Metal Alchemist did have, but in a completely fresh way. Let's dig right into it. Now, why is Fury number one right now? Well, the numbers do not lie. If you are someone who enjoys to see other people's opinion before you check something out, well, see no further than my hero and than my anime list, where it sits at a comfortable 9.7, with the highest percentage of 10 out of 10 votes that MyAnimeList has ever seen. Simply put, because, well, Frieren just doesn't offend anybody while hitting everyone in the feels. Right in the feelings, right? It's not some flashy power scaling. It's quiet, melancholic, and brutally honest about life. As brutally honest as a medieval magical world gets. Therefore, it builds a voter base that basically finishes the show and rates it honestly. Now, how is it going to stand at the top when, so many, absolutely so many have crashed and burned? I mean, think about it like this. One Punch Man was one of the anime that literally introduced a lot of people into the anime media. The same thing goes for Demon Slayer. How come those two show and Attack on Titan, how come those three shows were not able to beat Nostalgia? I genuinely have no idea. Just goes to show how powerful nostalgia can be. Let's be completely honest. Other shows, when looking over at the My Anime List, most would spike at around like a 9.1 and then crash all the way down to like an 8.5 or something. But Frieren has been at number one for now a year and some time, and a year and a couple of months, and it's still climbing. Why? Because it has no filler, it has no forced drama. Every episode is literally a short story that actually matters. Now, let's be real. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it earned the throne. It had a faithful anime adaptation, a perfect blend of action, great philosophical debates, I guess. And it was a mass appeal to a lot of newcomers and veterans alike. And it had a complete story that still holds up. It was safe. It was a universal 10 out of 10 until Frieren showed up with something that was even more universal. And it was the fear of wasting time with people that you love. Take a moment to digest that for a second. I'll use the three episodes as an example. The very first three episodes. We have episode 1, The Journey's End, where the party defeats the Demon King, celebrates, and then Himmel dies of old age. Frieren stands at his funeral and realizes, I never really knew him. That is the core concept. An immortal wolf learning the human mortality the hard way. Now, she has already experienced a human death, someone that she truly did care for, her master. In later episodes, we find out that Himmel, in compared to her master, apparently held a significant candle to her. Yeah, because Frieren went over to the forest that shows the most significant person that you yourself would not want to kill. Frieren herself thought that, oh, I'm going to see my teacher here. I almost forgot her face. But no, it turns out to be Himmel, the one who appeared there, showing exactly how significant Himmel impacted her life. And then we had to episode 2. It didn't have to be magic, right? Heidi's dying wish to Frieren was to basically force her to take Fern as an apprentice. And this basically shows, the pain of legacy and mentorship, which is something that Full Metal Alchemy did illustrate in a lot of sense. Oh, and the same thing goes for the value of human life over in Full Metal. In episode 3, Killing Magic, Frieren tries to celebrate Fern's birthday while teaching her that magic isn't just for killing. Three complete different stories, but every single one hammered with the same truth. The little moments are what makes life worth living. Why do people love Slice of Life and how Frieren mastered it? People gravitate to two genres when it comes to anime. You're either someone who enjoys slice of life, or you're someone who enjoys action, right? Those are probably the two biggest categories when it comes to anime. And slice of life works because it feels safe, comforting in a chaotic world. Frieren takes that comfort and uses it as a Trojan horse for deep character moments. The action hits harder because you actually care about these people. There is no power of friendship cliche here, just pure, quiet growth, regrets, and the slow realization that time is the real final boss. So yeah, Frieren didn't just dethrone Full Metal Alchemy. It proved that sometimes the slowest journey make the deepest impact. With that, I leave it up to you guys. What do you guys think? Is Frieren the brand new GOAT of MyAnimeList? Or will it eventually be topped? You know, drop your hottest takes down in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think, and hopefully you will enjoy, future episodes where I will be breaking down a couple of characters. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification. Next week we'll be diving into a character analysis. But what character is that? I got three contenders. With that, see you in the next episode.